the Honorable Ambassador Carla Sands. And this is a shorter presentation, she assured me. We'll be done well before 5 and work our way to the reception. Ambassador Sands served as U.S. Ambassador to Denmark from 2017 to 2021. She served on President Trump's Economic Advisory Council, and she currently chairs the Foreign Policy Initiative and is Senior Fellow for Energy Policy at the America First Policy Institute. And you'll be hearing from her today on energy and critical minerals. Well, please help me welcome Ambassador Sands.
Thank you so much for welcoming me, and I will be brief because I know I'm standing between you and cocktails. But I want to thank the Parliamentary Intelligence and Security Forum for holding such an impactful event. I want to thank J.C. Boggs. Thank you, J.C. Thank you, Congressman Pittenger, for honoring and facilitating all of these discussions that we've enjoyed throughout the day. I also want to thank the El Salvadoran government and people and Ernesto Castro for hosting us. And I want to commend President Nayib Bukele for his hard work in countering the atrocities of gang violence and the narcotics trade. El Salvador now proudly stands, as we heard earlier, as having the lowest crime rate of any Latin American country. So much so that El Salvador stood proudly with the Trump administration to counter transnational criminal gangs such as MS-13, keeping them off the streets in their state-of-the-art prisons. And by countering crime, thanks to President Bukele's work, El Salvador broke historic crime-busting records to establish an economy that is thriving and open for business. You know, El Salvador stands as a strategic ally to the United States as we advance our shared interest in ensuring the Western Hemisphere is a place of prosperity and peace. El Salvador is a strong trading partner of the United States, buying in 2023. The United States bought from El Salvador bought from the United States in 2023 over $1.75 billion worth of petroleum, over $100 million worth of corn, and over $75 million worth of vehicles, while the U.S. greatly enjoys the benefits of El Salvador's knit industry, knit fabrics, and sugar industries. But while we peacefully trade, China and Russia have slowly advanced their interests across Latin America. They're an immigrant economic threat, securing military advantages such as ports and dual-use infrastructure, as well as spreading harmful propaganda. The Western Hemisphere has allowed Huawei, a weaponized Chinese telecoms firm, to grow its 4G and 5G infrastructure. And according to Keith Krach, who is the CEO of DocuSign and President Trump's former Undersecretary of State for Economic Growth, Energy, and the Environment, Huawei doesn't just have a back door, it has a front door for Chinese surveillance and intelligence gathering. During my time as ambassador, I successfully blocked Huawei from entering into a harmful deal that would have not only damaged the security of personal communications in Denmark, but also would have endangered all industrial infrastructures. As Western allies, we must make a strong commitment to oppose bad Chinese deals like I did in Denmark. The Chinese Communist Party has made it their mission to target countries like Peru, Mexico, and Colombia with their proximity to the Panama Canal and critical minerals and agriculture, as well as these countries' relative closeness to the United States. Specifically, the lithium triangle encompassing Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia is and has been a Chinese target. China has spent decades building control over mining of not just lithium, but other rare earths such as cobalt and graphite. China refines most of the world's lithium and controls 90% of the world's graphite. And this is an issue that's an imminent security threat. Green energies are unusually mineral intensive. Electric cars needing 6 times the rare earths as a conventional car, and offshore wind plants needing 9 times the rare earths that a gas-powered plant does. The world is behind. The Western world is behind. It takes on average 18 years to bring a new mine from discovery to mining. And the Western Hemisphere cannot rely on Chinese rare earths. We must diversify energy and streamline domestic mining and processing. It is imperative that we end the Chinese rare earth grab and seize this strategic economic opportunity, prioritizing economic prosperity of Latin America away from the chokehold of the Chinese Communist Party. Concurrently, Russia is reestablishing intelligence and propaganda networks throughout this region, frequently utilizing state media and disinformation campaigns to undermine pro-US and conservative-leaning governments. In my own hotel room, I can find Russia TV or Russia Today, España in Spanish, and I can find CNN, but there's no conservative English language outlets like Newsmax or Fox News. But this is a conservative government. So Russia's capitalizing on regional instability and anti-American sentiment. Moscow's established tactics include propaganda, cyber operations, and alliances with left-leaning leaders. Russia disinformation disseminated through Spanish language media promotes anti-US narratives in Central and South America and the Caribbean, aiming to discredit democratic institutions and weaken the regional cohesion. Russia has also intensified military and intelligence cooperation in Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba, creating a network of influence near the United States. As the U.S. moves forward with President Trump's America First agenda, it is not alone. Rather, it's a movement that can be interpreted by all nations as we build unbreakable relationships in the Western Hemisphere. Nations first, just like America first. Nations that participate in the nations first agenda reap the benefits of a stronger and safer nation, just like President Bukele has done here in El Salvador. These benefits include securing one's own borders and controlling immigration, economic prosperity through free market principles and fair trade, enforcing the rule of law, preserving your precious culture, and securing affordable and abundant energy, while reducing adversary energy reliance and rejecting failed globalist policies. Strong allies, strong trade, strong Americas. The Western Hemisphere is a priority for President Trump. Safeguarding neighboring countries from external manipulation is a strategic imperative. A stable, prosperous, sovereign Central and South America and Caribbean are vital for the security of the United States and our allies. Like President Bukele, we must say no more gangs, no more drugs, and I say no more backdoor deals with China and Russia. It's time we invigorate the nation's first approach by revitalizing American influence and investment in Latin America, continue to forge robust security policies and partnerships, foster cultural diplomacy, and counter CCP infrastructure expansion. With US-led private investment and transparent regional development banks, as well as Exim Bank, and the DFC, or Development Finance Corporation. Let's move together. Let's move forward together. Let's protect our security by preventing Chinese firms like Huawei and ZTE from establishing surveillance infrastructure and expose Russian disinformation in Spanish language media with coordinated counter-narratives, supporting allies like El Salvador's leadership as they combat gangs, corruption, and transnational criminal organizations. By doing so, we will advance a safer, more prosperous, and sovereign Western Hemisphere, and we will all benefit. Thank you very much. God bless El Salvador, and God bless the United States of America. Thanks.
Ambassador, yes. I would just say, I misspoke. I said she was going to kind of talk about critical minerals and energy, and it was much broader than that, but you delivered a critical message very energetically, so thank you. Okay. Carla, thanks for closing it out. That was great. Great message. Message for you all. So we reconvene tomorrow in this room at 8:45. We have a prayer breakfast and kick off the agenda at 9 o'clock. Great remarks today. I always learn a lot. I'm sure you did too. Tomorrow we get to hear about artificial intelligence, energy, more on energy and critical minerals, cryptocurrencies, cybersecurity, illicit finance, and money laundering, much more. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Between now and tomorrow, we have a reception at 7 o'clock tonight at the former presidential palace. And it's an opportunity to get together and get reacquainted, build new friendships, talk about what we learned today. And I understand buses are leaving at 6:30 and 7 o'clock from the Sheraton Hotel. And you should have got an email from Lucas on that as well. So look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again.